Fires roar and blaze, cameras rolling hard in a wild twisted maze. Leather, steel and fire, the open roads are thrown by your life televised, we're breaking every bone. Hitting it with HardWire. Hear the engine scream. Living fast and reckless. This is our metal dream. Riding hard, never slowing. In the spotlight we shine. A biker's brutal journey. This life is ours divine. Hitting it with HardWire. The crowd screams our name, chasing down the shadows. We're addicted to the fame. Chains rattling loud. The brotherhood's alive. Every episode turns up. We're here to survive. From dusk till dawn, where the kingdom is through. Hitting it with HardWire. Hear the engine scream. Living fast and reckless. This is our metal dream. Riding hard, never slowing. In the spotlight we shine. A biker's brutal journey. This life is ours divine. On the edge of chaos we embrace the feel. Hitting it with HardWire. We'll always be here.
Hey, welcome to Hittin It with HardWire, where we hit things with HardWire. We pound the shit out of each other. We all just beat on each other. I don't know. Anyway, welcome to Hittin It with HardWire. We got S&S, Gary, Frank, Code stopped in for a minute to say hi. Carney, what's happening, everybody? How's everybody doing? Oh, man, I didn't really do shit this week. It's like I didn't do shit last week. I hung some Christmas lights. So I did something. It's very Christmassy around here now. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Yeah, it's... We tried to go karaoke Friday, but the karaoke guy who does the karaoke didn't feel good, so they canceled it. I'm like, it would have been nice to know that. I wouldn't have bothered driving all the way here, because it was a couple towns over. Had one beer and left, or 2 beers and left. Came home, and daughter wanted to sing karaoke at home, and I do have karaoke here, but I didn't have it hooked up, and I run around like a crazy maniac trying to get it all hooked up. What's happening, Code? Happy heavenly birthday to your, was it your mom? Who was it? Yeah. Happy heavenly birthday. Mr. Easy. Are you hell, that's been a long time ago you injured yourself. You're healed up and jumping around again. Hey, since while Code's still here, I want to let everybody know again. I said it last week and the week before. If you haven't donated yet, he's having his yearly Share Christmas deal where he collects donations for his for the one of the hospitals there in Philadelphia, and it's when you donate, just donate for the kids or donation for Share Christmas or whatever. Donate to his link there, help some kids out. He appreciates it. I donated like $50 this year. Last year, he got up to like $1,000 or something, a couple thousand. I can't remember what it was. But he takes pictures and everything of everything. It's all on the up and up, no worries. Cash app him the money. Kids will get it. It's a share Christmas. Help out some kids for a good cause. I I mentioned it last couple weeks on the show, but it was late on the show. So if you didn't watch the whole show or go back and watch the whole replay, you wouldn't have seen it. So we're sticking in at the beginning today. Yeah, Code said last year it was $2,200. It's getting a little late. You need to throw in, start forking over the heavy donations this year. So we got a couple weeks to go. It's looking very Christmassy around here. I put bulbs and stuff on the tree and got the tree all done. I had to buy a few things. I bought some new LEDs and a little tree skirt because I don't know. I must not have had one before. I'm very Scroogey. I don't know. There was a couple of years where I didn't even put a tree up. So, but you guys know, as much as I grumble about my son not answering my text messages, he is coming home for Christmas. He never even said anything to me. He told my daughter, so. But I guess he is coming home for Christmas. I find it exceptionally rude that he didn't say nothing to me. I told my daughter, I said, when he gets here, he's going to have to answer that question. He better prepare an answer. Why in the hell do you ignore my text messages and never message me back, you shithead? Apparently, I'm lucky. Our dog that has come to be my buddy, he's 5 years old. And he doesn't mess with the tree. He could care less about it. I was worried he's going to pee on it or something. But he did. It doesn't even faze him. He looks at it and walks the other way. He's become like a hemorrhoid every time. As soon as I wake up in the morning and set up in the morning, he's like right there. And he follows me around. After my last dog and the whole escapade with my last dog, I didn't think I would ever have another dog. This one has worked his way into my heart. Now he's a hemorrhoid on my ass and follows me around everywhere and pesters me nonstop. He's very needy. And for a bully, he looks mean. He if you don't know him, he'll act mean and try to scare you. But if you come up and pet him, then he's like your buddy. But if you act scared of him, he will like not let go of that. He'll keep growling at you and act like he's gonna bite you. But if you come up and just pat him, and then he'll go, okay, I like you then, and then he's cool with you the whole time. Oh, Steve, thanks for the first tidbit of good news I've had this weekend. The Patriots lost today. Yay! Good news. I was hyped for the Steelers game, and then I found out they're on tomorrow. They must have got the Monday night game this week where we play the Dolphins. I don't know if anybody remembers, but it was one of the years the Steelers were doing really good. They had a South Park episode where it was the Steelers and the Dolphins, and it was a pretty funny episode. See what's going on in the world now. We seized a Venezuelan oil tanker. Cool. I'll take it. Give me some of that oil. I'll find good use for it. Of course, you got to refine it first. Uh, See, the dumb thing is I read an article where apparently Russia demands to know right now why we think what nerve do we have seizing an oil tanker? Well, who do you think that must have been going to? The first one to go, hey, wait, what are you doing? You can't do that. Yeah, I'll guarantee you it was probably his. And yeah, I'd be like, excuse me, Mr. Putin, you waged a war in Ukraine. You need to sit down and shut the fuck up. You ain't got no room to talk about anything. Don't worry about what we're doing. None of your damn business. That's what we're doing. Man. And Trump said he wouldn't be opposed to season more. Okay. But apparently there's a whole legal process we got to go to. We ain't allowed to just steal it. I mean, technically it's not stealing, sort of. We told them they wasn't allowed to ship any oil. So if they shipped oil, we confiscate like cars and stuff from drug dealers. Isn't that kind of the same thing? Yeah, I've been kind of avoiding. I have not been on Mike's show very much lately. Uh, I don't know. I've kind of dipped out of a lot of the politics. It gives me something to talk about a little bit on here, but I just kind of glance off of a bunch of shit. I'm not really that interested in most of it, to be honest. Like I say, ever since I started like geeking out, watching videos on different things, perspective and different perspectives, and realizing a lot about all this shit being recycled and them intentionally drumming us up to fight each other. It's yeah, I've kind of tuned out a little bit. So I haven't been paying much attention either. I'm trying to remember what all happened this week. There was a few things I was watching videos and heard about. I know I'm getting tired of watching all these videos about Candace Owens and her bullshit. You know what? If you watch that crazy quack bitch, you got problems. Fuck her. Anybody that would act that way and treat a Charlie Kirk's widowed wife that way, you're disgusting. You're a low life piece of shit in my book. So I hope none of you watch her. I mean, if you do, that's your business, I guess. But I've seen enough on other people's show. What's up, Rolling Three? I've seen enough about her show on other people's show and the things that she said that I just there's no excuse for that. No excuse for it. It's all right to question things a little bit, but don't dig into it like she has. That's shit's ridiculous. There's always possibilities of conspiracy theories or whatever, but most of that's baloney. I don't know either. I don't know. She's I don't know. She's a woman. She's just Charlie Kirk's wife, so she was probably a bit of an attention seeker anyway. She's gotten the limelight and she's chewing it up. It's a little, I don't know. I find it hard to swallow some of it, but not really. It's not any indication that she had anything to do with it. That's ridiculous. I'm talking about. I was talking about Charlie Kirk's wife and Candace Owens and that whole spiel. If you ain't been paying attention, it's horrible. It's got even Matt Walsh and everybody else like jumping or going, "What the fuck's wrong with her?" But they're giving her more attention. She's clearly Candace Owens is clearly an attention whore, and that's yeah, and she's drumming up a lot of attention and using Charlie Kirk to do it, his name to do it. I think that's horrible. And then I mentioned Russia and Putin and that deal over there. My personal opinion at this point is, I don't know. Russia wants the Ukraine to cede territory to them that they don't even have control of, which I can see being a tough pill to swallow. I wouldn't want to do that either. So I can't blame him. And Putin's said repeatedly that he's willing to talk about peace and all this stuff, and then turn around and done the opposite quite a few times. So there's no real reason to trust him. But Ukraine's going to have to cede some territory. It's as simple as that, or risk losing all of it. They're basically at a stalemate. I think the lines have mostly stabilized. It seems some of the territory they want in the north has been largely won back by Ukraine. But I would guess it's more of a Russia pulling out and concentrating more on the parts they want. At least that's us. But that whole situation is a bit of a clusterfuck. What's going on in this country right at the moment? I can't remember. There was some shit going on that I read about in the House and whatnot. They're trying to pass a new health care bill. For one, something definitely needs done about health care. It's fucking stupid expensive. I know I just covered my stepson, and just for me and him, I'm going to be paying out almost $400 a month for two people, just for the insurance, which is then you turn around and have a big deductible you got to pay on top of, which is like, what the hell am I paying for? I wouldn't mind paying $500 a month if it covered everything, but it doesn't. Insurance is a fucking scam. And see, in biker news, it looks like there's at least last time I looked, there was a bit of a rift forming, which I don't want to get in the middle of, for one, but I want to mention it if nobody's noticed. Black Dragon was really pissed that it seems like Stax throwed him under the bus about him being an expert witness or something in some trial. I tried to convince VD. I sent him a couple messages saying that I'm sure Stax didn't know any better. He doesn't know a lot about motorcycle clubs, so he didn't realize what he said was not just wrong, but a little offensive. But I don't think he didn't have the understanding of why that would be bothersome or what the difference is. I guess he called him a Black Dragon tries to be a 1%er expert witness or something. That's what he called him. And he was just a expert, trying to be an expert witness on the general motorcycle clubs, and that not what he made it sound like. And BD's pretty salty about it. Hey, I'm just trying to get along with everybody. Whenever I started watching Stacks' show, and the same thing with Hollywood, there was things they said that rubbed me the wrong way, and I got a little irritated at it. But again, that's one of them deals like the old days, man. If you don't like it, don't watch it. That's all, That's more my opinion. I'm always of the opinion if you don't like it, don't watch it. It's as simple as that. Nobody's got to dig into big arguments or fights over it, especially publicly. Publicly, I hate that shit. Yeah, I have noticed, Gary, that I find the same issue. Sometimes I find Stacks' shows a little hard to stomach because he doesn't get to the point and kind of do his news. He shows a lot of things that get irritating, I guess. So I don't watch all Stacks shows either. I don't. I haven't been YouTubing, watching the YouTube as much. And when I do, I've been watching stuff about Three Eye Atlas. It's going to be making its earthly approach next Friday. The 18th is when I understand, from what I understand. And I started reading an article. It says its path has changed to make it come a little bit closer to Earth, which kind of makes it seem like it might be an alien spacecraft of some kind. It's been doing a lot of weird. For those of you who don't know, it's been doing all kinds of weird stuff, but we don't know a lot about comets that come from outside of our solar system. Most of the comets we see are comets that originated from within our solar system, so we don't know much about it. There's been a lot of yibber yabber and stuff about it maybe being an alien spacecraft. uh, what's up, Mike? Yeah, I've been. I don't know. I haven't been. When I do watch, I watch about Three Eye Atlas, and I've been watching a little bit of Matt Walsh talking about Candace Owens and that whole fiasco. It's Peaches. Say hi, Peaches. Peaches says hi, everybody.
Did you read my comment
Which one?
on my fucking Jeep?
What about it?
Subwoofers every few minutes going brrrr, really fucking loud. So I hit the unlock and it'll quit, and then I hit the lock, and a few minutes later, brrrr, and it's loud as fuck.
You need to turn that thing down in there.
Did you hear it? That's my fucking Jeep.
You're gonna have to unhook it. We're having technical difficulties in my lady's car land. I'm gonna have to go fix that. Her subwoofers are the line output driver is set too high, and occasionally it just decides to start going boom, and it quit doing it. Now it's doing it again, and it keeps going off, and it's very loud. And if it does that in the middle of the night, it's going to be a bad deal for us. So she's going to have to unhook them. She has a Jeep Cherokee, 2019 Jeep Cherokee Latitude, which is kind of the cheaper one. I didn't want to. I had when I did mine. Mine has a computer module that plugs into the back of the stereo that gets the low outputs that it needs through that module. My lady's just got a plain old line output driver. And I hear it going off again in the house, which is a piece of shit. And it doesn't work right. And it pops and makes noises with her electrical system because it's a piece of shit. But it was way cheaper. It was under $100, where one of them computer modules like I have in my truck was like 400 and some odd dollars. So we was trying to like not have to do that because she doesn't need it. The computer module, it's a CAN bus electronics module. Usually they're used with an aftermarket stereo. But I already had it because it was on my bike. What's up, EMLN? I don't want to say it. I don't want to say the whole thing, but it was so I already had. That's how it ended up in my truck, and it works far better than a regular line output driver. But there it goes again. My old lady is not going to be able to figure it out. Hey, old lady, if you're watching the show and you can hear me, unplug the RCA jacks on the amplifier. I'm sure she probably didn't hear that. So I'll ask you guys a question. I did see a little bit of there was a big like a shooting in Australia where it was a Hanukkah event for Jewish people or something. And like 12 people were shot and killed. I haven't seen a lot of the details on that. And that's horrible. What the fuck is wrong with the world? Why are you shooting at people like that? That's crazy. I know people don't want to like the Jewish people, but fuck, man, you can't persecute Jews in the United States for what the nation did over there. Oh shit! I'm gonna have to go help my wife, but she's not gonna be able to figure that out. What's up, so loud? 16 people died. Thanks for the correction. Yeah, that's horrible. And didn't Australia do away with their guns for the most part? That's the screwy part. I thought they don't allow guns freely like they do in the United States. Yeah, that's horrible, man. I don't get all the Jew hatred, man. I don't get it. It's like people think that every Jew's responsible for what's going on over there, and that's just dumb. Well, there's a ton of hunting that goes on over in Australia, so I know there's not completely not allowed over there. I think they got some weird nuances to their laws in Australia. Read the Talmud. What's that? I don't even know what it is. If you're going to say it's some religious text that's supposed to make me change my mind about the Jewish people, I got news for you. Read, if that's how you like to persecute people, then read the Islam Muslims bullshit. Theirs is far worse. Where's my fucking hot cocoa, man? Is that what you got? Where's mine?
I'll share.
No, I'm confiscating it.
No, it's
See how confiscation works?
not mine.
Hot cocoa. Thank you.
You're bad.
And that's how confiscation works. That hot cocoa has been confiscated. It is now my hot cocoa. Thank you. I'm lucky she loves me, she says. Well, you sometimes if somebody doesn't understand something about the world, I'll show you. This is how confiscation works. We went over and confiscated an oil tanker from Venezuela. This is how it worked. You was willing to give me a little bit. I confiscated the whole thing. She didn't spike it though, so that's unfortunate.
Sunday. You wouldn't like me spiking it anyway. You couldn't.
I've been watching a lot of people arguing about trying to like argue about Muslims and their religion, and I've learned more about it than I care to know. But I already knew most of it was fairly evil. So I'm not. I don't know. It's the way a lot of it works is, from my understanding, is a lot how some Christians read the Bible. They interpret it different, and the ones that are peaceful, they've interpreted the more violent sections differently. But it does say a lot of things that it is unacceptable to Christianity and our normal civilized society, for that matter. Hondas are a lot of Hondas are made in America. Hondas are actually more American than a lot of supposed American motorcycles or vehicles, for that matter. I used to drive a Mitsubishi Eclipse, and those are mostly made in America, more so than many American vehicles. So I must be behind the times. This is Straight Jacket now. Straight Jacket, did you change your name? Yes, believe it or not, I had a Eagle Talon whenever I was younger, and now I'm six. See, this is something I I'll have to gather some pictures from the old HardWire pictures. HardWire has been fat and skinny and fat and skinny and fat throughout my life. My weight's been a yo-yo, but I had an Eagle Talon and I loved it so much they quit making Eagle Talons a long time ago. But an Eagle Talon was basically exactly the same as a Eclipse. Then I switched over to Eclipses and I had quite a few of them. They were fun little cars. Believe it or not, there was an incident whenever I was 19. I squeezed my large ass into a Fiero and I almost never got out of it. I thought they was going to have to get the jaws of life to get me out of that damn thing. Since I laugh every time somebody says Fiero, but I'll never get near one. My friend that now lives in Florida talked me into trying to squeeze my ass into one. He had one. I never owned one though. I heard if you're small enough to fit in them, they were fun little cars too. Yeah, so I found that out. I can't remember how I figured that out though. I was doing some research on something and it led me to figure that out. A long time ago, I was researching something. I don't remember what it was. And I found out that yeah, they put propane injection pretty commonly in diesels, and it's not the same as NOS, but the whole idea of it works very similar. But it is quite interesting, and yes, that is basically like the equivalent in a diesel engine. But they do it more commonly than NOS. They don't typically do it for the same reasons, though. They do it for more power. That's funny. I haven't even been talking to Gemini as much as I usually do lately. I've been working on some weird uh, walk behind forklift that picks up rolls. And it comes out and it's got little hands that pick up the rolls. But if you know very much about lifts, it's difficult to make them real wide. And it picks up the rolls in a wide stance. It can be a challenge. It's always fun working on new stuff at where I work at, and I always like designing things because I always thought it was fun. It's a lot, and then seeing it get built, it's a lot of fun. I always likened it to being a kid and putting models together, things like that. It's fun to design them and then go out and watch them get built. And then I test everyone that I design myself before they leave to make sure they function according to how they're supposed to. I want to say you'd be amazed by how many people call and want things that you cannot have. I may be a pretty decent engineer, but I cannot rewrite the laws of physics. Some people will be like, well, I need this skinny little machine and I need it to reach out 10 foot and pick up 1,000,000 pounds. I need you to do it with a straw. Like, no, no, I can make some pretty awesome stuff, but I can't make that work. There's a lot of things I can do, pretty cool things, but yep, I haven't figured out how to break the laws of physics yet. I'm trying to read your comment there. I still remember back when we were kids, man, somebody'd have a single cab truck and we'd try to fit like 8 people in the fucking front of a single cab truck so we can all pile in there and go party somewhere. That was always a thing. Just packing vehicles as tight as you could, try to get everybody where we was going. That was always fun. Oh, I've heard all of it. And in defensive engineers, okay, even if you work on vehicles, you have to understand something. Okay. Every single piece of that machine, whether it be a car, a yacht, no matter what it is, engineers only have so many pieces and parts to work from. And if they're told this is what they need to make it out of, they'll find a way to make it out of these parts and make it work. Not always the best to work on, because sometimes, like, the nozzles aren't pointed in the direction you want, so they get squeezed in only during a certain part of the assembly, but afterwards you can never reach the damn thing. That's the nature of the beast. If every single part was made custom for that piece of equipment, you could never afford that piece of equipment. That's how building anything works. So I have to defend engineers on that particular aspect of it. And that's usually the majority of the complaints. That's a dumbass place to put that, or that shouldn't have been facing that way, or whatever. I get that a lot. I hear it. But I always use that same rebuttal in response to that. Sure, they could have made a custom hydraulic cylinder just for that. Just for that, for you, a special one. But then you have setup times and you have engineering times, and then they have to have it custom made, and it's cheaper to make them in huge quantities. So it's going to be way more expensive to make a single cylinder for that. So your machine's now almost doubled in price. And then they're always like, oh, well, that's not okay. Well, that's what happens when you decide you want a custom piece of equipment and you want it exactly the way you want it. Sometimes even custom equipment like we're building, they still want, it's still going to be more expensive because it's custom, but then you still get some of that. Sometimes things aren't exactly in the best of places. Your brother-in-law is a medical engineer. He makes shit that actually goes into the human body. That would be cool. That would be awesome. I'd be very fucking interesting to learn about, too. He must have some fantastic, interesting... Well, I'd imagine the most coolest shit he works on, he probably can't talk much about. Imagine that's one of them things where you really can't talk a lot about some of the things that you're working on. I can't remember what else was going on. I know Hollywood did a show about a club having, like, somebody getting arrested for pedophilia or whatever down in Florida. And it turns out that they wasn't in the club for more than 2 years. So it's just, I watched that video of that sheriff, and that thing was fucking asinine, dude. That tells you a person who is completely disconnected from reality and doesn't know how things really work. The cops often deal with the worst of the worst day in and day out, and they start thinking everybody's that way. They start thinking everybody is crazy, everybody is drug addicts and stupid shit, man. And that's one of the hardest things they do deal with. That is a legitimate thing for them, but they have to understand that not everybody's that way, or else there wouldn't be normal people in civilized society, you know. The majority of us aren't that way, and they hear stories just like a lot of people. A lot of people see things like Sons of Anarchy and think that's how motorcycle clubs work. And for especially for a pig, and I don't like defending them, I don't. But every time they deal with a motorcycle club, it's never in a good capacity. It's always in a bad capacity, and unfortunately, that's what they think everybody in a motorcycle club is, and that's just not the case. Yeah, I don't know why Hollywood hasn't been doing hardly any of the regular live shows in the mornings. I don't know if maybe his old lady's on a morning shift or something. Maybe he's getting tired of doing it. It gets tedious at times. I can imagine how hard it'd be to do a show every day and try to come up with new topics and new things to talk about every single day. And then being in he put himself into a very specific niche in the motorcycle community, and now everybody kind of expects him to stick to that topic all the time. So it's got to be difficult, and he might be a little burnout on it, trying to figure out the same how to. So I get it. I don't know if that's the case. He should have come on and told everybody, you know, hey, if it was me, I probably would have scaled it back. Hey, this is going to be the Tuesdays and Thursdays thing. You know, twice a week we'll have a live show in the mornings or something. Then it's not as hard to come up with new topics all the time. Twice a week instead of 5 days a week. That's not a bad idea. He could do his regular motorcycle premieres or whatever Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, and on Tuesdays and Thursdays or whatever twice a week he can do the live show. That wouldn't be bad. But I'm not involved in his whole decision making criteria and all that. So I'm not sure what's going on. I have wondered the same thing. Yeah, I'm sure. The biggest problem is most people are stuck in their rah-rah for one particular club, and they don't understand. And believe me, the brainwashing comes at you pretty hard. When you're in a motorcycle club, they will try to literally brainwash you into thinking like these other clubs are boogeymen, or they do some kind of evil shit, you know, bite the heads off babies or something. You know, something's fucked up. They eat puppies in midnight, but they don't, because they don't want you to understand that they're all just regular fucking guys, just like you are. They might have different rules and call them different names for the same things, which I noticed. I've been around enough different clubs to notice they like to call things different things to try to distinguish themselves a little from different clubs, but it's still the same shit. Okay? They all function and do a lot of things pretty much the same. The people aren't all that much different. Their identities based mostly around motorcycles, you know, and the same brothers and hanging out mentality. So they're all very similar. and you get a lot of people that are rah for one club, and a lot of people don't understand that it's bad for all clubs. When you go out there and you shit talk one club and just start talking about how bad they are, they don't understand that civilians, regular Joes, they start seeing all clubs in that same light. So if you go out there and start bashing any of them, you're really doing a disservice to all motorcycle clubs as a whole. So you're better off to just defend the lifestyle if you're going to defend it, and not try to jam on one particular club, or because you shouldn't jam on any club, because it really looks bad for all clubs as a whole. Anyway, we're 50 minutes into the show. I try to keep them around 45 minutes. So I'm going to let y'all go. And I appreciate you stopping in for another hangout on Sunday. We like to hang out every Sunday, 6 o'clock. This time seems to be preferential. I haven't heard anybody's opinions other than the few that said they like this time slot better. If you have an opinion and you'd rather see the show at a different time, drop it in the comments, and like and subscribe and all that happy stuff. Especially like the stream. I appreciate it. I'm not a real grifter, so you won't hear me talking about wanting your money or anything like that. That's the one thing this show has that I don't think I've ever seen on any show. Everybody's always like, give me money now. Which is okay if that's your thing. When people know that's your thing, that's fine. But here I don't do that. So I just like hanging out, bullshitting with you guys. We do it once a week, every Sunday, 6 o'clock. Thanks for stopping in. And I appreciate each and every one of you. I love you, and God bless.
Hittin' it with HardWire. We're burning it bright. Living on the edge, we'll ride through the night. No fear in our hearts, just the roar of the steel. Together we rise, now this life feels real. Yeah, held a new path on that twisted black line. A YouTube dream where his past can't confine. With every rev, he's reclaiming his soul, teaching the world how to ride, how to roll. Rising up high when the shadows surround. HardWire's the name, and he's making it loud. Hittin' it with